Well, hello, boys and girls. I thought I would show you how things are going in the workshop. If you recall, last time I posted a blog, I just finished doing some rearranging in the workshop, and now I'm getting a bit closer to sort of finishing things. I got rid of that big tool shelf that was up here. There wasn't really, it didn't provide much useful storage, so I just disassembled that, took that away, and I've actually slid this cabinet over and left the miter saw on there, and that way I actually have storage underneath the bench for my stool, which is useful to have around. I actually intend to, at the moment, this computer screen is not actually connected to the computer, which is down there, but the intention, of course, is to connect that up, and then with this cutout underneath here, I can actually sit at this station, I suppose, and use the computer will be the purpose of that. So if I take a closer look over here, you can see that I've actually joined all of these benches together into one single thing, which means that it really doesn't move around at all. I just used this sort of old furniture board which we had a wardrobe which we were throwing out, so I took that wood and been able to recycle it, I suppose. What I've also done down the back of here, there was a gap because these drawers are not as deep as this set of shelves. There was actually a gap down the back of the drawers, so I decided I would put in this little tray which just sort of helps to scoop up some of the sawdust from the miter saw. The miter saw is sort of one of those tools which I really hate having in the workshop, but I mean there's nothing quicker than a miter saw when you're just trying to cut down long sort of 2x4s and those sorts of things, so having the miter saw here is still very useful. Now, speaking of tools in the workshop, I'm not sure if you guys will agree with me on this, but I can't get over how much space sharpeners take up. Now, they've always taken up space in my workshop, but just the amount of space on the workbench that they take up, it just seems really unnecessary. Of course, you need them there to be able to quickly go over and sharpen something, but it just seems really sort of unnecessary and almost a bit of a waste of the available space in the workshop. But I suppose with the current workshop setup, the place that they are actually wouldn't receive much use anyway, so I suppose with the current setup it's not all that much of a problem. Now, some of the other things that I've done, I've just recently put up a second shelf up above my current sort of shelf where I store finishes and glues, those sorts of things, and so it was getting pretty full, that shelf, so having that second shelf above it has been quite useful. It's already getting fairly full, but it provides a bit extra space, and most of the finishes up there are things that I don't use all that regularly, so the fact that it's so high up is not too much of a problem. I can easily climb up using the little stool and grab those sorts of finishes. I also put up another small shelf above the garage door, and that again provides a little bit of extra storage space. I did mention in one of my videos that I thought I might stick up another lumber storage shelf above this one, but I've come to the realization that actually if it was above this one it would just be too inaccessible, and although this one over here is very high, the only things I'm going to store up there are things that I only need to get to very occasionally, and again I can just grab the stool for that. So with all this new storage up as well as all of my existing storage, I'm actually getting to the stage where I have more storage spaces than I can actually fill, so I'm actually pretty happy about that.